Hello. Hello. Sudeep. Okay.
Hello, sir. Sir, clear.
Hello. Hello. Sudeep. Okay.
Sir, okay ആണ്. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല.
ഞാൻ കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ട് ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. ഷബ്ന. ഓക്കെ. ഷബ്ന. ഓക്കെ. ഓക്കെ. 1 minute. Okay. In the previous class, we discussed stochastic tools for natural language processing. Okay. So this topic discussed, and this is tools for language understanding. So the stochastic in this approach, the moral is we are just we can consider a natural language understand problem as a random process. Okay. Then we can apply various mathematical analyzing tools on it. Okay. For example, these are the tools: Markov model, then probabilistic approach, decision tree, etc. can be applied on it. So in the previous class, we discussed these cases. Markov model approach we discussed. Then we discussed decision tree approach. Okay. So and previously you studied about the decision tree approach. Previously you studied in that for splitting the data we are using information gain as a measure. Okay. Here we will use this information. Okay. We don't want to study very deeply. Just study the mutual information clustering information. The mutual information clustering is used for splitting or dividing the training set and forming a decision tree. Okay. Next, now then we reach the probabilistic approach to parsing. Okay. So there are two approaches. One is probabilistic context-free grammar. Okay. One is probabilistic context-free grammar, and another is probabilistic lexicalized context-free parser. Okay. Next. There are two approaches. Okay. That we want to discuss today. So this is probabilistic approach to parsing. Okay. This is probabilistic approach to parsing. So as I told, there are two methods. Okay, Ashwati, okay അല്ലേ? Present screen okay അല്ലേ? Sound. Okay. Okay. So one approach is probabilistic context-free grammar. So this type of parser solves ambiguity problem. Then you know what is ambiguity? More than one tree. Okay. More than one parse tree. That is the ambiguity situation. Then speech understanding, converting speech to text, and handwrite record can be performed using this model. Then there are two approaches. One is probabilistic context-free grammar. Okay, this is probabilistic grammar approach. This is a structure-based method. This is a structure-based method. So you are given with a lot of grammatic rules. Okay, these are all different grammar rules. For example, sentence derives, noun phrase, then in bracket noun, then verb phrase, then in bracket verb. Okay. Then you can note here, this is the grammar, noun phrase, in bracket noun, then verb phrase, then verb. These are the grammar symbols used in it. Okay. So the sentence is the starting noun terminal. Okay. Then this is noun phrase. Noun phrase is defined in this way. Similarly, noun. What is noun? Noun is defined in this way. Then noun derives man. Okay. Similarly, verb phrase. Noun phrase also, there are another grammar associated with the noun phrase. Noun phrase derives article noun. Okay. So similarly, verb phrase derived verb. In this way, different grammars are created. Okay. So these are all grammar. Article derived, the, a, etc. Here what we will do is that here we will attach a okay, we will attach a probability to each non-terminal and terminal. Okay, you can note here probability of sentence. In this method, we will attach a probability to each non-terminals. Okay, and also to the terminals. For example, P of article. Okay, we can discuss that later. P of sentence. Probability of the sentence. Okay. The probability of that grammar rule applying. That not applying. Okay. In this way, a probability. So this means probability of sentence. That probability of this non-terminal applying is equal to probability of R1 into probability of NP. What is NP? NP means noun phrase. This is noun phrase. Probability of VP. What is VP? P is verb phrase. Then into probability of verb or noun. Probability of verb or noun. In this way, then additionally there is another term. You can note here, probability of sentence is equal to P of R1. Okay, there is a term P of R1 into probability of NP. Probability of NP means this one. Probability of VP. Probability of VP means this one. Into probability of verb or noun. Here noun and verb. You can note here noun and verb. Okay, noun and verb. Here it is defined in this way. Probability verb given noun. In this way, we will find the probability of sentence, P of sentence. Okay. Similarly, we want to find probability of noun phrase, NP. P of NP is equal to PR2. Okay. What is this P of R1? Probability of rule 1. Probability of rule 1 applying. This is rule. Okay. So probability of rule 1, that is P of R1. Okay. Similarly, noun phrase derives nouns. Then this is written in this way. P of NP is equal to P of R2. What is P of R2? Probability of rule 2 applying. Okay. P of R2 into P of noun. There is a sentence. This one is noun. Then the third one is noun phrase derive article noun. Okay. So this is written in this way. Rule 3. So probability of rule 3 appearing into probability of article into probability of noun into another term is probability of noun given article. Okay. Here also you can note this. Why this term coming? Okay, just observe it. This there is a conditional probability term coming. Okay, this conditional probability term is comes here due to these noun and verb in this grammar. Okay, in that situation I written probability of verb given noun. Okay, if article, noun or verb, article, grammar, then we should write those in this way. Okay, that is this term. That is this term. So we can consider here article and noun is there. So what we have done, we included this term also here. Probability of noun given article. So next is verb phrase derives verb. So P of R4 into P of verb. Simple. Next verb phrase derives verb noun phrase. So here also you can note this is probability of R5 into probability of verb into probability of noun phrase into there is another conditional variable coming because verb is appearing here. Okay, so probability of noun given verb. Hmm? Given verb, then what is the probability of noun? This term coming. Okay, just observe these terms. Okay, how these terms are coming. Okay, so hmm, next next is probability of article. Okay, next is article derives A. So probability of articles is equal to probability of A. What is A? A is an article. A is an article. Is an article. Okay. So in that case, you can note article derives the. So probability of article is equal to probability of the. Noun derives man. Probability of noun is equal to probability of man. That is how many times the man in the sentence. Okay. So in this way, we create the grammar. Okay. So in the probabilistic grammar, a probability term is attached to the context-free grammar. Okay, that probabilistic context-free grammar. Okay, so you can note here. This is a grammar rule. To this grammar rule, this is a one. This is a grammar rule. Grammar rule. I am attaching a probability term also. Okay. In that way, I am defining all the probability terms. That is the probabilistic context-free grammar. Okay. So this is about the probabilistic context-free grammar. Then uh, it uses the probability measures for each grammatic parse rule. Okay. The probability of each parse rule is a function of. Now we are defining what is probability context-free grammar. It uses probability measures for each grammatic parse rule. Hmm? That is, for each rule, we will say probability. Hmm? Then the probability of each parse rule is a function of the probability of that rule happening combined with probability of its constituents. Okay. Next point say Now, what is that probability of each parse rule? Probability of each parse rule is a function of the probability of that rule happening combined with the probability of its constituents. Okay. For example, this is probability of R5, probability of that rule appearing, and probability of its constituents. These are its constituents. Okay, in this way, we can define the probability of each rule. Next, for example, consider rule 1. If you consider rule 1, sentence derives noun phrase, derives verb phrase. Already I told this. P of S is equal to P of R1 into, what is P of R1? P of R is the probability of rule I appearing. Then P of NP into P of VP. Okay. What is probability measure of each individual word? For example, P of bytes, etc., can be calculated by counting the number of time it appears in the training sentence. Okay. Next, these are the constants. And another thing is probability measure of each individual word can be calculated by counting number of times it appears in training sentence. There will be a training sentence, number of times that appearing in the training sentence is the probability of a particular word. For example, probability of I'm going to this example. Okay, that's the concept. Number of times a particular word appear in the training sentence. That is the probability of that word. So this is about the probability Cohen-Desprez grammar. So just to be more study what is probabilities Cohen-Desprez grammar. Okay. So the next is probabilistic lexicalized Cohen-Desprez parser. This is another concept. Probabilistic lexicalized Cohen-Desprez parser. Okay. So in this case, so you can note here, this is also similar to the Cohen-Desprez grammar. You can note here. In this type of parser, it is possible to focus on the probabilities of specific patterns of the word occurring together. In this type of parser, it is possible okay, sorry, I have done one mistake. Actually, this is probabilistic Cohen-Desprez grammar example. This is probabilistic Cohen-Desprez grammar example. That is, here you can note this is sentence, then noun phrase, verb phrase. Then it can be this way: probability of R1, probability of NP into probability of VP. There is no conditional terms coming. Okay, that is probabilistic Cohen-Desprez grammar. This is an example of probabilistic Cohen-Desprez grammar. Then in the probabilistic lexicalized Cohen-Desprez grammar, as I told earlier, an additional term, this term will come. In the case of a probabilistic lexicalized Cohen-Desprez grammar, an additional term, this will come. Okay, this will come. So we can define that in this way. In this type of parser or grammar, it is possible to focus on the probabilities of specific pattern of words occurring together. For example, if you consider rule 3, noun phrase derives article, then we can write in this way: P of R3 into P of article into P of noun into P of noun given article. This term. That is, this is the probability of two words coming together. Okay. That is, article will come at first, then noun will come. That is the probability of that. This is defined in this way. That is why I defined it this way. The probability of specific pattern of words coming together. This term indicates this. A particular pattern of strings coming together is also included in the as a probability. Okay. So this is about the probabilistic lexicalized constraint parser. Okay. So these are the two types of probability based parsers. Okay. One is probabilistic context-free grammar. Okay. What is probabilistic context-free grammar? Simple. Okay. For each grammar rule, I will attach a probability term. For example, sentence derives noun phrase, verb phrase. I will return in this way: P of R1 into P of NP into P of EP. Okay. In this way, I will write all. Okay. If you consider verb phrase, this one, verb derives noun phrase, P noun phrase. Then P of R5 into P of verb into P of NP. Okay. In the case of a probabilistic lexicalized context-free grammar, what we will do? We will include an additional term, this one. That indicates the sequence, probability of a particular sequence of words coming. Okay. Here you can note sentence derives noun phrase in bracket noun, verb phrase in bracket verb. So P of R1 into P of NP into P of EP. Then there are two terms, noun and verb. What written is that probability of verb given noun. What its meaning? Already a noun came, and what is the probability of verb with the noun or verb coming next to noun? Okay. For example, John walked. For example, John ran. So what is its meaning? Suppose this is our sentence and this is noun. John is the noun. Okay. John is the noun and run is the verb. Run is the verb. Okay. Then P of verb given John. Given noun. So which means probability of comes after John. In this case, it will be 1. Okay. If the sentence is like this, then the probability of verb given noun should be 1. Okay. Because the sentence directly given in this way. So this is called the lexical probabilistic lexical context-free grammar. Okay. So try to understand these two concepts. Usually in the exam, this type of question will come. Explain probabilistic based approach to parsing. So you should write probabilistic context-free grammar and probabilistic lexicalized context-free grammar. I will change this order. Okay. Please note this example. This is PCFG example, and this one is lexicalized probabilistic context-free grammar, CFG. Okay. Just note this. Okay. CFG. Okay. So, and this is about this topic, and now we are going to discuss about the expert systems. Okay. So And these are all just descriptive topics. So I already given this topic as assignment to you. Okay. So I'm just covering this topic. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. Please give your attendance in the chat box. Okay. Starting from Abhishek. Abhishek. Sorry, Abhilash. Abhilash. Then Abhinav. Sir. Atul Dinesh. Arjun. Arjun. Arjun absent. Arjun SNP. Arjun SNP absent or no? Okay, Arjun absent on Dinesh Atul Fracture for opinion. Okay. Next. Jasim Harrison. Mithila Mithila. Muhammad Jasim. Muhammad Jasim. Ramesh. Jasim absent. Jasim. പെട്ടെന്ന് ജാസിൽ ആബ്സെന്റ് ആണോ? ജാസിൽ. റമീസ് പ്രസന്റ് ആണോ? ആബ്സെന്റ്. നെക്സ്റ്റ്. അഭിനവ്, സൗരഭ്, ശരത്. ഓക്കെ. ജാസിൽ. ഓക്കെ. സുബിൻ രാജ്, വിഷ്ണു. ഓക്കെ, പെട്ടെന്ന് വിഷ്ണു. ദെൻ അമൃത, അശ്വതി, ലിതിന, ഹിത, അമൽ സന്തോഷ്. ഓക്കെ, റമീസ് ആബ്സെന്റ്. ഓക്കെ, റമീസ്. ദെൻ അശ്വിൻ ബി പ്രസന്റ് ആണോ? അർജുൻ പ്രസന്റ് ആണോ? അർജുൻ. ഓക്കെ, റമീസ് ആൻഡ് അർജുൻ ആബ്സെന്റ്. റമീസ് ആബ്സെന്റ് ആണോ?
അർജുൻ പ്രസന്റ് ആണ്.
ഓക്കെ, അർജുൻ. ഓക്കെ, റമീസ്. ഓക്കെ, റമീസ് ആബ്സെന്റ് ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഓക്കെ,
റമീസ് നെറ്റ് ഇഷ്യൂ ആണ്.
റമീസിനോടൊന്ന് വാട്സാപ്പ് അയക്കാൻ പറ.
വാട്സാപ്പ് അയക്കാൻ പറയാം.
Okay, next expert system. Okay, so this is a descriptive topic. So this is the architecture of expert system. So what is expert system means? This is applied for solving particular task that need some expert. Okay, for example, medical diagnosis and advice. Okay, this type of system need a special knowledge from the experts. Okay, for example, medical diagnosis is needed. Okay, a doctor is needed and to give some knowledge to this system. Okay, and that type of system is called expert systems. So you can note here the knowledge base is here. This knowledge base should be created by an expert in the field. Okay, so that is about the expert system. So medical diagnosis applications which is used in the diagnosis and advice. One example is MySIN. Okay, MySIN is a expert system used in this field. So next, help desk and assistance, loan analysis, predicting, virus detection, marketing, etc. We can use different expert system in this field. In addition, in various industries, expert system is used because in the industries, industrial knowledge is needed. In such situation, expert system is used. So this is about the application. You can medical diagnosis application. Okay, this is the best example because you want to design a system that will produce for example, an artificial intelligence doctor Okay, he needs some knowledge, but that knowledge should be fed by an expert, by an expert doctor. Else, what will happen? Diagnosis will be fault. Okay, so this is the architecture of an expert system. There is an expert, there is an user interface. Expert will, sorry, this is a non-expert. Okay, this is a non-expert. Non-expert is the user. He will give some code to the through the user interface to the expert system, and this is also part of an expert system. Okay, this is an expert system, and the expert system consists of three components mainly. One is the user interface to accept the queries. Then another is the knowledge base. This is the most important part in it. Okay. Then an interface engine. This interface engine just take the data or facts from the knowledge and execute it and give the result to the interface, then to the outside. Okay, this is the working of the expert system, basic working. Okay, now we want to focus on the knowledge base. Okay, so the knowledge base is the most important component of an expert system. So the knowledge base contains collection of facts and rules. So what is knowledge base means? It contains collection of fact. Fact means raw data. Okay, it collection of data and rules. It contains various rules. Okay, rules can be applied on the fact. Okay, to get a solution. That is, rules can be applied on the fact or data to get new data or new rules. Okay, so knowledge base contains collection of facts and rules about problem domain. Okay, about the problem domain. If it is a medical expert system, then the rules will be some rules will be related to the medical field. Similarly, facts or data will be related to the medical field, okay, which is fed by a human expert. Okay, this rule is who is feeding this to the system. It is fed by a human expert. There should be a human expert needed to feed the knowledge to the knowledge base. Okay. So this is about the expert system, and we discussed the applications. Now we are familiarizing with the various expert systems. As already I told, MySyn. MySyn is used for medical diagnosis, and RI or XCon. It's a program that configure and DEC VAC system. This is a system. This program configures DEC VAC system automatically. That is RI or XCon. Sometimes you may sometimes I want to configure a system. Usually a human will do, but automatically configuring a system, we can use an expert system. Okay, here such a one is RI. That provides advice on mineral exploration. Okay, mineral exploration. So advice on mineral exploration. So next is design advice. This is another one. A system that predicts chip design. It is used for chip design applications. So these are the different expert system. I hope you got the idea about the expert system. Then we need to consider some issues. Okay, while designing an expert system, we should consider some issues. Which are the different issues in it? Basically, the issue is represent domain knowledge. This is the most important issue. Okay, we want to represent expert knowledge or domain in the system. So how can represent the domain knowledge? The most widely way of representing domain knowledge is a set of production rule. Okay, you already familiarized with the production rule. So what is a production rule? It consists of two parts. One part is rule and the other part is action. Okay, in this way, we can represent the knowledge. So the most widely used of representing domain knowledge is a set of production rules, often coupled with the frame system. Okay, we already studied about the frames concept. Production rules combined with the frame system will be a good representation of representing domain knowledge. Okay, next. Now we are considering Mycin case. In the case of a Mycin, how the knowledge is represented. Simple if condition, then consequent form rules are used. For example, if fever is high, then viral fever. Okay. So this is the conditional part or consequent. Okay. Then, sorry, this is the antecedent part. Then the viral fever, this is the conclusion. So this is called a consequent part. Okay, in this way we can define the knowledge in Mycin. Okay, as I told, there are different Mycin, RI, prospector, design. These are the different expert system used, and for each of them we want to discuss. In the case of a Mycin, this will be the method. In the case of RI, what we will do, if the most current active context is distributing basis, that is, we will use if, then there is a single port. So you cannot, what is the use of RI? For automatically comparing. Okay, so if data is given, okay, there is a photo disk drive in this way, then okay, in this way I can represent the knowledge. So if the most current active context is distributing mass bus devices and there is a single port disk drive and there is a etc, then what will be the conclusion? Assign disk drive to mass bus. So in this way, in RI, the knowledge is represented. Okay. Now, prospector, the knowledge is represented using predicate calculus. Okay, you cannot here, for example, in this way. What is the use of prospector? It is used for giving advice for mineral. This is the use. Okay. Prospector provide advice on mineral exploration. Okay. In the prospector, knowledge is represented in this way. If, then rules are used. What is if? In the if part, or pyrite, etc. These are different substances. Then 2 minus 4. This is called evidence and conclusion. There is a favorable mineralization. What is 2 minus 4? 2 minus 4 is the confidence estimate. These are the confidence estimate which is necessary to validate the conclusion. In this way, we want to represent the knowledge. Okay, similarly, next is design advice. That all we can discuss in the next class. Okay. So next class we can complete the expert systems. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, thank you.